J-T-A-L while I'm sitting here.
We talk about women's empowerment, but what happens when we empower the wrong women? What's good, everybody? It's your boy JTL, aka Out From The Norm. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit that notification bell. Alright? So, we got our boy Stephen A. Smith here on First Take. Then Malika Andrews comes in, and she feeling some type of way about what he said. So she wanted to get at him. She told him to stop. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say too much. Y'all go ahead and listen to the video. But once again, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's get it.
Stephen A., with all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent to me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here. And it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that, I just want to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me, I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary, that folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact. That was purely speculation. And so to me, that is what stood out. But the Celtics as an organization could have done more, and short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved, and I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization. And I think that that is something that was clearly necessary in this situation. But the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired, or he deserves to be there and handle it internally and privately. If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them. I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that. And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, excuse me, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled. You could have fired him, and then we could have speculated till the cows come home, but he's gone. But to keep him there, keep him employed, but in the same breath, suspend him for a year, then also that year is indefinite. That is the issue that I have. Nobody's trying to protect Ime Udoka, and certainly nobody is trying to protect, is to excoriate the women involved or anything like that. I'm talking about how things of this matter are usually handled from an HR perspective, from an organizational perspective. That is not consistent with what we have seen throughout the years. That is the only point that I was trying to make. I'm not trying to attack anybody. And if anybody deserves to be attacked, it's Ime Udoka for putting himself in this position. I've made that very clear. I'm just talking about you got owners and everybody else. They know the kind of stuff that's going on. You didn't say anything about anybody else. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them. They didn't say anything about everybody else all the other times this stuff has happened. But now when it comes to him, it's all over the place. That is my issue. That is my only issue.
I appreciate that clarification.
So we hear what Stephen A. had to say. We see and heard what Malika had to say. Now, this is my thing. Stephen A. has a point. Me did something, but there was another person that was involved. 2 consensual adults. Now they're trying to lead to all this other speculations about things. But at the same time, are we going to sit there and act like women didn't ask for equality? So Malika to come in and say don't blame women. No, he's just talking about one person allegedly that's involved in this situation. So if we fight to get here, you can't exclude or disclose somebody from a situation if they're an adult. We can't treat women as equal. Then when something happens, women want to jump in and say, don't blame women. You got to realize something. What about Nia Long? This other woman wasn't thinking about that woman and her situation that she built with this man over all these years and the fact that they got a family together. What happened to those women that stood against the women that were homewreckers? Now we come into an organization where we're talking about we want women empowered, trying to clean up, the swamp and all this, the way men have treated women. But let's keep it real. They still have a part to play in this situation. You can't do what you want and then be taken out of the wrong that you have done in all your actions. Once again, Stephen A. made a good point. Malika, that was very immature. If we're talking about something professional, don't let people see you sweat. And that's where men are different from women. But at the same time, if you want to stand up for something, that's fine. But make sure you're standing up for the right thing. So I want to get y'all opinions and comments on this. Is Malika right or is Stephen A. right? Or am I right? Because I think in this situation, we have to be realistic. We can't say women are equal to men, get into a position of power, do something wrong, and then now we can't blame them or point the fingers or hold them accountable, if you will, for something that they done wrong because they're a woman. That's not right, and that's not how it goes. All right? So make sure y'all leave y'all comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. What's your perspective on this? What's your point of view? All right? Once again, it's your boy JTL, a.k.a. Out From The Norm. Make sure y'all subscribe. Hit that notification bell for updates. And as well, if you would like to show your boy some love to the channel, I got the Cash App in the description. Holla at me. Chill.